Hello everyone. In this video today we're going to be taking a look at an article from Reuters written by Elwin Scott, published on August 4th. And I don't even know why we're using drones from this particular place in the first place. Just look at this title. U.S. Army halts use of Chinese-made drones over cyber concerns. This just proves why military intelligence is a fucking oxymoron. Potential enemy. Okay. That's never really been a non-enemy. It's been more of a frenemy. China has been more of a frenemy to the United States. One that we've been stupid enough. Okay, thanks to the fucking Clintons making illegal fucking treaties a reality, like the law of the land here in the United States, because a trade deal is a treaty. And he signed these quote-unquote trade deals with China that allowed for them to have favorable nation status, help them get favorable nation status. And these trade deals help that with the process. So when you have that and you have NAFTA, I mean, maybe a Canadian company where they're an ally, or possibly in Mexico, I could see sourcing components or other full military equipment from either two countries. But China, you gotta be fucking stupid. This is the same China that got caught with the Communist Party using Huawei to put back doors into commercial phone switching equipment. And we were stupid enough to buy the shit and put it on our phone infrastructure. Okay? Never would have had that problem with Ma fucking Bell if AT&T, different, it's a long story and kind of a tangent. So I'm just going to say really quick. If the people like the Clintons didn't help to fucking destroy the manufacturing of AT&T tech, okay, because they fought Bill Clinton on the, what was it, 1996, no, was it the 96, no, shit, I'm trying to think of the year it was, but basically it was like 92, and then he tried again in 96. But to get it to where they quote-unquote standardized phone switching equipment to make tapping it easier, they said, and it was about being able to tap it remotely without having to go to the location and, get permission and show a warrant and all this other shit. Like they wouldn't have to, because they could just access it. They would say, yeah, we got a warrant, we're going to access it, instead of having to physically show one. Because they had over 20 years of contracts. They would have just been finishing out their contractual obligations about a year ago. At the time that the company was sold to Lucent and liquidated, they had 25 years or something like that, if not more. So, I mean, the company would have been around for a lot of years, and we would have American-made equipment, and we wouldn't be dealing with the fact of the Huawei equipment having back doors like we did. And we wouldn't be dealing with shit like this now if we looked at manufacturing in the United States, especially for crucial infrastructure, crucial military equipment, whatever else. I mean, U.S. Army here fucked up. They show why military intelligence is a contradictory term, as I already said. Because, I mean, U.S. Army halts use of Chinese-made drones over cyber concerns. Why the fuck would you be using them in the first place? You shouldn't be. There should be no halting them because you shouldn't be using them. The U.S. Army has ordered its members to stop using drones made by Chinese manufacturer SZ-DJI Technology Company Limited because of cyber vulnerabilities in the products. An August 2nd Army memo posted online and verified by Reuters applies to all DJI drones and systems that use DJI components or software. It requires service members to cease all use, uninstall all DJI applications, remove all batteries, storage media, and secure equipment for follow-on direction. You're using fucking... Oh, God. Pretty much every fucking company in China, at least partially, is owned by the Chinese Communist Party itself or members of the Chinese Communist Party that are high-ranking in the government. And you didn't think that you probably shouldn't be using a Chinese company to produce military equipment. Good fucking job, guys. The memo says DJI drones are the most widely used by the Army among off-the-shelf equipment of that type. God, you could have had a similar quote-unquote off-the-shelf style, like one of these drones. You could have had one made by an American company similar to the one from the Chinese company and never dealt with this shit. Oh, fucking morons. Seriously, fucking morons. DJI said in a statement that it was surprised and disappointed at the Army's unprompted restriction on DJI drones as we were not consulted during their decision. You shouldn't be consulted. It's the government's fucking choice either way. The privately held company said it would... Yeah. How many of the owners are part of the Chinese Communist Party, I wonder? So, the privately held company said it would contact the Army to determine what it means by cyber vulnerabilities and was willing to work with the Pentagon to address the concerns. Analysts at Goldman Sachs and Oppenheimer estimated in 2016 that DJI had about 70% share of the global commercial and consumer drone market. Goldman analysts estimated the market, including military, to be worth more than $100 billion over the next 5 years. So, I could see the government's concerns. When you have a company controlling that much of the market, I can see the concern. And the thing is all right, I'm sure when the quadcopter drones were first being used by the government, I'm sure they were sourcing from some American companies or some other companies, say in Europe or whatever. But everything's over in China now. And they didn't think, oh yeah, well, we're going to throw a camera on this thing, we're going to use it. You didn't think that maybe, just maybe, it would have vulnerabilities after the whole Huawei thing? You didn't think about that? Oh, that's right. Military intelligence are not military and intelligence are not mutually exclusive. They're not even remotely exclusive. They're not even remotely related. The Army was considering issuing a statement about the policy, said Army spokesman Don Schwartz. They were considering, but hey, we're not going to. The move appears to follow studies conducted by the Army Research Laboratory and the Navy that said that there were risks and vulnerabilities in the DJI products. The memo cites a classified Army Research Laboratory report and a Navy memo, both from May, as references in order to cease the use of DJI drones and related equipment. So, I can understand why they'd want to keep that report classified. And I can understand why they wouldn't want to share it with a company that's supposedly, privately owned. And most likely, almost definitely, has members of the Chinese Communist Party as owners in it. So, the thing is, they're going to test that stuff. It's like the CIA. We'll put it this way. The CIA with the Vault 7 leaks. Okay? The stuff that was really going to fuck them, they made it apparent to fix it. Okay? With, like, say, Windows. But the shit that they could keep in their own little arsenal, they kept quiet. Because they don't want others exploiting it. They don't want it, cause a major issue. Besides the fact that they want to use it to their advantage. If they were to release what's wrong on the note of the security with these drones, hackers left, right, and center would be taking advantage of it. So, I can understand them wanting to keep it pretty quiet. I mean, we're talking national security here. And it seems like these drones and this company being 70% of the market is one of their only alternatives to get the equipment. So now I want to know what all of you think about this. Do you think it was smart for the United States military to be contracting with a frenemy nation's businesses for mission critical equipment? What do you think about the fact, and do you think it's accurate that there are vulnerabilities in this system or systems with the drones on the note of hardware and software? I mean, what are your personal feelings about the government taking and spending money on these drones and not thinking about making sure that they have a manufacturer or a vendor of a drone that is going to produce something that is going to be secure? I just look at this and I'm like, there's so many what ifs. Because I mean, an American company, even say a French company, because they've had French companies manufacture military equipment. They've had Canadian companies do it. They sign these agreements that protect the intellectual property, that protect, American interests, and they enforce them. You can't do that with China, So I want to know what you think about all of this. I want to know your point of view. I want to know how you feel about it. And I want to thank you ahead of time for doing, putting that out there in the comments section. But anyways, this is the Constitutionalist Libertarian. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more of my content, subscribe. And ring the bell if you want to be notified when it comes out. Again, thank you for watching. And you all have a good one.